Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 231.
231.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. And we're going to mention also they have Universal Fan Travel, which they've had. And we're going to be talking about Universal Studios as well as Walt Disney World today. So I thought I would mention that.
That's a good mention.
Yep. And this is a time to book for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, which is coming August 31st. So,
August. Unbelievable.
So next week we can say that the Food and Wine Festival, as well as the Halloween parties,
starts
are
next month. Don't say that.
Isn't that crazy?
That's very crazy.
Summer just started, and now we're thinking about Halloween and food, the food festival.
Anyway, check them out. MEI Travel, Mouse Fan Travel, and Universal Travel.
Yes. They do it all.
So we're going to start off at one of our very favorite places in all of Disney Springs, the Boathouse. We have not been in far too long. I think it's been New Year's Eve since we last dined at the Boathouse.
Actually, it's probably my favorite restaurant on Walt Disney World property, not just like one of them at Disney Springs. I don't know why it takes us so long to get back here. I'm always like every week, I want to go to the Boathouse. So I'm glad we finally made it back.
We did, and it was, as always, an awesome experience, and we had a little bit of a weather challenge, and we'll get into that as we go along. But it was still nice when we walked in, and there was not much of a wait to get seated this day.
No, it was really good, and also there was a new item on the menu that I had wanted to try, and it's a Smokehouse Angus brisket French dip, which is a lot of words. But
well, that's a big departure because you have a traditional dish you could talk about that you normally would get. Well,
right there you can see the filet mignon sliders, and those are really good. And for 14 euros, we're not in Paris. $14, it really is a great deal.
And the bread, always awesome. The only problem is with this bread, you have a tendency to fill up because it's so good. So we were very restrained. We only had our 2 breads each.
Yes, I think maybe
high restraint that day.
I think we might have even brought one home.
And we always split the salad. It is a Caesar salad, and every time they just bring it out in 2 smaller plates, which is very nice. I think it's only $8.
Right, it's $8, and we each get a decent sized portion of the Caesar salad that way. So it's always worth it.
It's a good tip. Now, I tried the special. It was the salmon sandwich. It was really good. I substituted my fries with the new potatoes over there, and there's a look at that yummy salmon sandwich.
And really, any of the sides you can substitute out. I think sometimes they'll charge for like the asparagus. I'm not sure that they charge for anything else, but I haven't really asked for anything else either. And I actually got the fries this time. I usually don't, but I was like, okay, well, I kind of am in a fries mood. Mm-hmm. But this is the French dip, which was fantastic, and the meat is very tender, and I brought half the sandwich home with me. I really recommend this.
I can attest the sandwich was very good the next day because you let me have a bite of it.
I gave you like half of the rest of it. So, but yeah, and then they also brought me the extra oju. I think that's how you say it. That was really good.
And for the sake of the show, of course, we had to order a dessert. We were totally full. And actually, it was raining cats and dogs at this time. So we figured, let's wait out the rain. So there's lots of excuses. The real truth is we just wanted this awesome dessert.
I think it was actually the rain. It looked like the rain was going to be around for a while, and it had just started. So it was like, why not get the bundt cake? We actually looked at the menu, and there were so many good options. Bundt cake actually sounds kind of just, I don't want to say boring, but normal, but it was very good the way they did that.
Well, one thing I have to say about the Boathouse, at least for us, we always have tremendous service, exceptional service. As a matter of fact, we brought my parents there maybe about 6 months ago, or maybe as longer. Anyway, my father said it was the best service he's ever had in his life. He's 81 years old. In his life was at the Boathouse. So that's impressive.
I think that was last fall. I have never had bad service here. The only one time one of the bars was really full and I couldn't get they only had one person there. Mm-hmm. That was my only issue.
And but you didn't even know there were two other bars.
I didn't realize, I didn't even think I could go to one of the other bars. And that is a tip for today.
So the rain held off and we made it to as far as Starbucks. And then it started pouring again. So this is a shot of from Starbucks. This is what happens when you're in an amphicar and it decides to open up rain. At least they are fully equipped with rain covering there.
I recommend making sure it's probably not going to rain before going out.
This would be
it would
fun.
be different.
Actually, it would be interesting to be in the rain in the amphicar.
You know,
I thought it was interesting.
I think it's great that the amphicars have become so popular. We always see people in them.
So now we're going to jump ahead. We finally went back to Universal Studios Florida. It's been a long time. We haven't been to Universal since
Christmas,
January.
yeah,
Yeah, wait for the very last.
But we're
Grinch.
going back Friday, so it'll be like 2 times in just over a week.
Well, we're going back because we have discovered the Despicable Me 3 characters. They are so much fun. And normally these guys don't meet like this. This is a limited time thing. And right now you're just looking at the setup, the setup of where one of the meet and greets is happening
In a jail. And I just want to mention, we weren't here for Minions. We were here for Jimmy Fallon the Ride.
Right, this was just a
what we came for.
byproduct. We had no idea, but we had so much fun waiting around for the Minions.
Each of the meet and greets, there's 2 different ones. There's here with the jail, the jailed Minions.
Which is awesome.
And then there's one over in the kids zone, which is different, and we'll show that. There's 6 different times for each, and they're not at the same time, so you could go from one to the other very easily. But I mean, you could anyway, even if they were exactly at the same times, you could do that.
So much detail in the jail area, but the Minions themselves are awesome. They're so fun. They're very playful, and I like the way the other ones has this eyes that kind of move and follow you. It was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed meeting the jailed Minions.
I actually didn't realize they were doing this, so I'm such a big Minion fan, and I figured we'd find Minions, but they not only have this, but they're going to have, and this is what we're going back for on Friday, there's going to be some kind of Minion takeover at City Walk. So I'm not really sure what that will mean. I know there's a dance party. I'm hoping there'll be a little more than a dance party, but who knows? That's the first day of the movie.
Right, and not huge wait. At least when we were there, not a big long wait to meet the Minions. Both sections of Minions weren't too horrible.
Right. I mean, once they come out, we got in line before they started, but once they come out, the lines start, getting longer. Like here at the kids zone, we'd get in line beforehand, and guests don't really pay attention that much, I guess, to the times.
Well, there were
ahead of
more
time.
kids here too. I mean, this is an area where kids naturally would be around, so of course they're going to be running over. And this is a brand new character. It is Gru's long lost brother, Drew, D-R-U, Drew.
And they look pretty much exactly alike, except for the hair.
Yes, quite the interesting hair. This is a new Minion here we're seeing on the right. I'm not quite sure of what the deal is.
I think that is not a new Minion.
Oh, it's not a new Minion.
No, I think it's Kevin. I think it's Kevin, like dressed up as a tourist Minion. I don't know that he's a new Minion.
Oh.
So
we'll have to see Despicable Me 3. We are actually Tuesday. We're going to be seeing.
I just think he's dressed up. I could be wrong, but I think all the Minions who are dressed up like in jail and stuff aren't necessarily new Minions, just old Minions with new costumes.
Gotcha. There's a lot of dancing going on in this meet. There's disco music happening, and here is Gru kind of giving me a little hello, a little welcome there. But a lot of fun.
They were really fun. So this happens till the end of August, I believe. So I think it was, I don't have it in front of me, August 19th, I think. Yes, August 19th. So that is another couple months, really, for anybody who wants to go check them out.
And I think they're also included in the parade they have every night.
I believe so, and I think we might be doing that on Friday as well to see. Not only do they have these characters, but also the Secret Life of Pets float now too.
Right, and we may take a look at them next week. We saw those Secret Life of Pets characters when they came out during one of the little meet and greet areas during the day.
But they're not really, unlike here, they're not really.
They're
characters.
part of a float.
Right,
they're all part of a float.
They're all on a float, and they're not really characters per se. They are characters, but not in this way. So, but we had really a lot of fun here in the kids zone. I think they're going to be switching this area to like a Nintendo land or something at some point, but at least now they still have that.
So anyway, the real reason, as you said earlier, the real reason we went is we had not been on Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, and we figured we should finally give it a try. It's been getting mixed reviews, but we decided we're going to go in with an open mind and check it out. First thing we're going to talk about is this virtual queue that they have, the virtual line, I should say. So you there's your phone there, and you just kind of get a virtual time when you walk into the park. You don't even have to walk over to the attraction. It tells you when you can go on. And then you kind of scan it, you go into the building, and they give you one of these colored tickets, and I'll let you continue with that.
Well, I was just going to mention they open in April, and I think we were over in Paris at the time they opened, and we just haven't, it's been a couple months now. So anyway, here we are at I think it's 30 Rock. And these are items from the different real artifacts from the different shows, like Jay Leno had the Tonight Show, and now Jimmy Fallon has a Tonight Show. So all of the different hosts, you have artifacts from each one.
You know, there have been less hosts at the Tonight Show than people have walked on the moon.
How do you know?
Because I know there's
I don't
only
know.
like 7 of these former hosts or total hosts.
I think
1, 2, 3, only six hosts of the Tonight Show.
Well, Johnny Carson was there forever, and actually Jay Leno was there a really long time as well. I think he was there almost 20 years. So they really, some of the hosts just kind of stick it out. Conan O'Brien was like a year.
I'll have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed the first floor of the museum. It maybe was my favorite part, although the
museum?
entertainment
Is that what
was
you would
great.
call it?
Well, I guess display would be a better word. I liked the display and all the artifacts and the history of the Tonight Show. I thought that was great. But then you go up the steps, and you are very close to where you're going to go to be in the audience, let's say, for the show.
I just want to mention, when you receive your ticket with one of the colors, it is of the NBC Peacock logo. Like, everything really is well thought out here. We don't even get NBC and never have gone. I haven't gotten NBC in like 10 years.
Really? I don't think
So
we've seen a show.
I've not really watched a show. So this is the Ragtime Gals. I have never seen the show to see this, but they are so much fun. A little risk, just
we
mildly
surmise
risque.
what they're all about, and they're very good. They're very funny. They're singing about the Big Butts song here.
So yeah, a different amount of different songs,
And
really fun.
hashtag the dancing panda. I had no idea what he is or what he's all about, but he was fun. I enjoyed it. We got pictures with him and we watched him jump around and all that. So even if you have no clue about the show, like both of us, you can still have a good time.
And hashtag the panda does meet and greet. Also, Jimmy Fallon, the ride, replaced Twister Ride It Out. So if you've never been to Universal or it's been a long time, that's the location.
So eventually they will call the color that you have on your ticket. When they do, you can either go proceed to the ride itself or stick around and watch more of the entertainment. We hung around for a little while, watched the rest of the entertainment, and then we went on the ride. And this is going to be a bit of a reversal because usually I'm the more positive one between the two of us, but I actually thought the ride itself was a bit of a disappointment for me. I put it down there with Stitch's Supersonic Celebration or Superstar Limo. So I didn't think the ride was worthy of all the great build-up. It wasn't horrible. It was just, I didn't understand the purpose of it. It just didn't work for me.
From what I understand, the racing part is based on a show, so we wouldn't really understand that anyway.
Interesting.
And I actually liked Superstar Limo more than probably the Monsters, Inc. attraction at Disney California Adventure. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it as an attraction. I thought it was very solid. You know, when you put together everything that's part of this, you know, the ride part isn't as good as the rest of it, but I still, you know, thought it was fun. The people in the audience, the guests in the audience, laughed a lot and enjoyed it. I didn't hear any, you know, nothing negative afterwards. So I think that overall the guest experience is a good one.
And look at this. You end up in a merchandise shop. There is hashtag the panda. I did like hashtag, even though I know nothing about him. So I thought the merchandise was great. There was a lot of themed merchandise here. They did a very good job with this whole, NBC everything set up.
Well, I didn't even notice until looking at the video that they had Tervis. So hashtag the panda Tervis. I like Tervis.
And that sums up my thought of the ride. We just saw Fast and Furious, Supercharged. We have both seen the Fast and Furious Supercharged section of the Hollywood Tram Tour. I shouldn't speak for you. I don't think I was very impressed with that, so I don't have high expectations for this, but you never know. Hopefully they will shock me and it'll be good.
The thing with Fast and Furious is that it isn't really a franchise for me, but that doesn't mean the attraction won't be good, so we'll see. We'll see next year.
All right, so
That's it.
now we're going to move on. We had a great time. We actually had an awesome time at Universal, and we can't wait to go back. Now, though, the reason we were over in that area is we were at Madame Tussauds. There was a special unveiling at the Wax Museum there, and who do you think it was? Who do you think came to Madame Tussauds?
I know how excited everybody will be over this, but
Oh,
it's
boy.
Justin Bieber.
The Beeb.
And, you know, he has been the most asked for figure of anybody, I guess, over the last couple of years since Madame Tussauds opened. I like Walt Disney. I like seeing Walt Disney every time we go through here. But Justin Bieber, he had his, some super fans there who were,
Oh, he absolutely
there were
had
some
some
really
super
big,
fans. We're about
super
to see
fans.
one now. This is the very first kiss. And I guess you have some more info as well.
Right. And I didn't kiss him, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, we know the truth. We know the truth.
It took 6 months to create him. There are a total of 11 Justin Biebers, I guess, at the various Madame Tussauds, probably around the world.
That's a lot of Biebers.
It is, and I thought it was a lot of fun.
So now we're going to talk about Gaylord Palms Summerfest.
So Summerfest at Gaylord Palms will run through August 13th.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be doing a lot more seasonally. Like they'll have some stuff for Halloween as well.
I can't wait for that.
As well as ice for Christmas. Now, this is the atrium. We were given a night from Gaylord Palms so that we could talk about this. We always love the balcony views here. And the nice thing is it rained a lot of this day, and you wouldn't even know it.
Right, it didn't matter. That's what's
Because of
wonderful. You still can fully enjoy the being inside in the atrium. Beautiful views, and again, rain does not sully that.
So here are the Summerfest activities. Some things happen daily, some only on weekends. We were there on a weekday because we were heading out of town to DC, like 24
very next
hours
day,
later,
right.
So also it rained a lot on the first day, so we didn't get to try everything, but that's okay. We got to see, some of the activities and just enjoy the resort, which is a big part of not only Summerfest, but if you're staying at the resort anyway.
Right, just the resort itself is awesome enough. They also have this rock and roll scavenger hunt with the surfboards, and we did try that. That was a challenge, that's for sure.
Well, during ice, they always have a scavenger hunt, and they have for many years. So anytime they do one of these type of events, they have the scavenger hunts now.
And you can see the koi fish. You're able to feed them if you'd like. And they have the alligators too, which we're not going to show. And they have turtles and all sorts of things inside the atrium.
I really enjoy just walking around, and especially the small baby gators that they call grunts as well. So here's the Cypress Springs water park, and they keep expanding this out. Like there used to be more parking lot, and now there's a flow rider.
Oh yeah, look at this, great.
And more slides. And it really is, when they call it a water park, it really is like that. Plus, there's an adult pool that I don't even know if we're showing
We're going to fully show that because I thought that's a very valuable addition. Now, these are new slides, the 2 green slides and this blue slide. All 3 of those are brand new. They just opened late last year. This is the first time I had a chance to try them. Unfortunately, the blue one was not quite open when we were dressing out in the pool area, but the green ones, where I did do both of the green ones, they are awesome. There's all sorts of lit effects, kind of like on the Carnival cruise ship, where they have like a disco lighting inside the slides. They're very fast, they're fun, they don't hurt your back, which is a plus for me because I do a lot of these water type slides. So I really enjoyed them. I wish I could have done the blue one, but I am going to show it so you get an idea of what that is like. You kind of drop straight down, kind of like at the at Aquatica, right? And you go around and around and around, and you end up in this little bowl area at the bottom. So it looks like a lot of fun.
It does, except I don't do water slides too much, like ever. So it's really fun to kind of watch how big it is and how many times you kind of go around. Now, daily they have these pool parties, and
this is the I Wanna Rock sing-along.
Yes, and this is something that happens every single day, except if it rains.
You'll never guess what song they're singing right here. I Wanna Rock.
I
know. It's very accurate.
The kids loved it, really.
I actually liked it. I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed it myself.
Well, I really enjoy that Gaylord, when they do these type of events, they bring in, people who can sing and act, and depending on what the activity is. And I really enjoy that. And so, like I said, especially the kids really love this.
Right. It's definitely for the kids, and you could see they're getting an audience. This is the beginning of the air guitar contest. Everyone's having a good time.
When I said they were having fun, I really meant it. So here is the adult pool. It's like a South Beach style pool. The only time I've seen kids in it is, I guess, when there was
when the other pool was closed.
Right. But otherwise, this usually isn't too busy. Not when we've been there anyway, and it really is. It's a very nice pool.
Look at that. Just that right there makes me want to go right back right now and hang around, because I think we had a nice lunch there poolside. So how horrible was that? And
even because of the rain and that we weren't there on a weekend, we didn't get to see everything. We had a really great time. Also, on the weekends, guests can book the Rock and Roll Never Dies Ghost Tour, which I've heard very good things
Yes,
about.
yes, I definitely want to check that out.
So definitely check out the Gaylord Palms website, and the prices for the event seem really good as far as the room packages.
I've heard there's going to be a ghost tour during Halloween time too, and a special adults only version.
That
so
will
we
be
will have to check
interesting.
that out,
Yes.
definitely. Anyway, Gaylord Palms, awesome. Always have a good time. Now we're going to move on to Epcot. We just went to Epcot, and it was a hot summer day, not that crowded.
It wasn't. It was 90 or a little bit over, very humid, but also very empty of a park, and I really enjoyed that. Like, during the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, August 31st will probably be super hot, super humid, and super crowded. So it'll be all of those. So at least one of them was missing this time.
Well, look at this delightfully air-conditioned and uncrowded area. One of my favorite places to go, these relax and recharge areas with couches now. They took away all the trees they had earlier. It was almost like you had your little individual rest areas, but now you have couches and your electric charge area right behind it. So that is new to me.
Well, it looks like they have chargers in the couches,
In the
as well.
couches.
I've never seen anything
Even
like
better.
that, and I did see a cameo by me on the right-hand side.
Yes, you always make cameos, of course.
Yes. So, but anyway, the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival was the last day that we were here before we headed off for our 2-week trip to DC area. So it was nice to come back, and it's
classic Epcot. There's
Yes.
no butterfly tent up there. There's no quilt. There's no topiary. Now, again, I love all that stuff, but it's nice to see just the classic Epcot. It's only going to be classic Epcot for 2 months because then at the end of August, you're going to have food and wine.
But not even for 2 months, because they're going to be starting to build the food and wine within a month or so. So really, you get like a month, 6 weeks of, as you would say, classic Epcot.
Well,
and all of a sudden, we're back into another festival, then Christmas, then Festival of the Arts, and then Flower and Garden, which are all great. But it's nice to have just the quiet.
And here we're taking a quick look at the Norway Pavilion, the Frozen attraction. It says 55-minute standby. I highly doubt that's true. I mean, I walked in right up to the front, and you could walk about halfway through the queue, so it didn't look too bad. One thing without the festival being there is the walkway seems so wide. There's so much room to walk around. I mean, look at this World Showcase. We're right in front of Italy here. Look at all that space.
And I do look forward to, we booked a bunch of Frozen Ever Afters, which we can never do, for right after July 4th, like we booked for several days.
Yeah,
so I'm
almost
looking
every day
forward
they were
to-
available for some reason.
I'm looking forward to getting back to Epcot and kind of seeing this a little bit more before the D23 trip, because once we come back, I think we're going to be seeing construction for the food and wine by then.
So, of course, I'm showing Italy because usually when we haven't been to Epcot in a while, we like to celebrate going back by a nice Via Napoli lunch. And indeed, that's what we did. It was super duper hot in the mid-90s, so it was nice to have a delightfully air-conditioned lunch.
Well, we usually, the first day of festivals usually we're usually at Via Napoli, because this is our favorite restaurant. At least it's my favorite Epcot restaurant.
Oh yeah, I won't argue.
And we were put in, are they wood burning ovens,
Yes,
I believe?
indeed.
The pizza here is fantastic. If you've never been, I mean, this is just, it's not cheap, but when you divide it out among even 2 or 4 people, I think it's really a reasonable value. And we ended up bringing pizza home. We get the kind of the large pizza, not the largest pizza, the mid-large.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh boy, that looks wonderful.
And we were able to bring several slices of this home as well.
So there's also a trick. You can save a little money when you order. Number one, if you have an annual pass, they give you a discount.
10%.
And number two, the way you order it, I did a large pepperoni and then added the side of mushrooms. So it's cheaper than ordering they make your own pie, which would be something like $5.50 a item. So if you have to kind of mix and match. Now we're going to jump ahead though. Look very carefully as we're panning here in Japan and notice the colors of everything in Japan. There have been a few little changes to the tori, the Japanese tori, and we're going to show you what it we're going to show you what it now looks like, what it used to look like a few months ago, and you'll see. This is what it looks like now. Do you notice it fits in perfectly with the rest of Japan?
Well, I mean, by a few little changes, it's like really one change, but it used to be, red and blue, which I kind of like better. I think it stood out better. I don't even know when this happened. It was probably at least a number of weeks ago. So
It was while we were away.
It
Must have been
away,
within
apparently.
the last 3 weeks. But I'm just showing again how it matches. Now
Right.
it does fully match Japan.
But I liked the red. I thought that the red looked nicer.
It stuck out better.
Yes.
So just a little
well.
change, but something that we noticed while we were there. Also, something new: Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. They swapped out some of the films, and now you have Piper and one of my favorites, Feast.
Right, and they go with Get a Horse,
Get a
which
Horse.
Get a Horse
does-
debuted a couple years ago, I think, as far as a short for Disney. And so now you have those three as opposed to what used to be here. We did not end up watching them. We've seen them all.
Right.
But we wanted to kind of get the experience of kind of going in here.
And my pro tip of the day, never waste a fast pass on this. You can always pretty much walk in. There's never much of a line.
At least when we've been here, I mean, on New Year's Eve or really busy days, it probably has some kind of a
4th of
wait.
July, perhaps. But now this is new to us anyway. It's been in effect for...
Since October, I
yeah.
think I was told. They have the Disney Visa meet and greet, the photo spot, and there was nobody here when we came here. If you have a Disney Visa, you can just come over. It's I saw it as we were in the lobby there, and I'm like, oh, we should go over here. So we did.
Now this is the former Figment's place, and they are loading and or lining up the opposite way that you used to go in for Figment's place. Before that, it was the Kodak Film Shop at one time. So this little area has been around for a long time. It is a nice area, and I'm glad it's being utilized.
If it was the film shop, it's been a very long time since I've been in here. I don't remember Figment in here. I never met Figment.
It was Figzilla, the super.
Figzilla.
The
I
big
never
Figment.
met any Figments. So it was fun. Minnie and Pluto were here. I don't know if they swap out maybe with any other characters.
I think it's
maybe
just
Mickey.
the same as the other Visa photo spot. So you never quite know who you're going to get. But at least there was zero wait. I mean, I showed this in real time. We just happened to see it. We walked up. Again, it was a slow day, but very, very nice meet and greet, and
Nice backdrop.
very nice backdrop. Yeah, and I kind of like the little exit way. And these have been around forever, but they're still fun. They're still classic. The bouncing fountains here.
Right. And so I always like coming up here. We don't really go into the ride too much anymore. It's not my favorite
It's
of
not
the
the
attractions
best,
here.
no.
I have heard, I mean, there have
In
been
and Out.
rumors that
Inside
Inside
Out.
Out
Inside
might...
Out. In and Out, I'm thinking
yeah, In and Out burgers.
Next
Wouldn't that
couple
be
weeks,
great?
they have
In and Out burger,
That would
come
be
here.
spectacular. Also, Mission Space is down for a refurb at the moment. But what I'm showing this planter here, the only remaining structure left from the old classic Horizons attraction is this planter you're seeing right in front of Mission Space. And I think you know, how long is the refurb happening for?
Through the end of July. I think it started on June 5th, and there has been no reason given for the closure, so we don't know if they're doing a new mission or if they're changing what they're changing.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
New
we
mission.
have no idea. So
Anyway, thanks again to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel and Universal Fan Travel.
yes, if you want to book Universal, Disney, again, you've got not only Christmas, but Food and Wine is coming up in like less than 2 months at this point.
So much stuff. And we have a busy week coming up. We have another Carnival Cruise event this week. We're finally going to see Despicable Me 3. We're going back to Universal.
Disney's Hollywood Studios, possibly Magic Kingdom. So
Oh,
we have
let's
a lot
not forget
coming up.
Typhoon Lagoon for the...
Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah.
So a lot. We have a lot coming up this week.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.